Yeah, pause YouTube. SixftHax here. Happy y'all today. The team builder for week number 5 of WBE season 3. Now, obviously, this is going to be going up very late. I did mention this in my week 4 match. I mentioned it at the end of week 4 that week 5 was going to be uploaded super late. Long story short, all 4th of July week, I was busy, so I couldn't play Tup. And then the week after 4th of July, Tup was very busy, so he couldn't play. So yeah, apologize that this is going to be going up late, but we should be back on schedule this Sunday. Also, there's going to be no fancy GFX on this just because I want to get this out before tonight, before it's too late tonight. The battle should be going up tomorrow on Wednesday, and I still have to do the graphics for that, edit that, and do all the music and stuff, which I'm so glad you guys have been liking the change of music and stuff, and how I guess it kind of adds a tone to the battle. So thank you guys so much for the support on the battles. If you still enjoy this, hit that thumbs up button down below. Support is greatly appreciated. Leave a comment down below letting me know what is your favorite mega in a draft league format, because we have 2 devastating megas going head to head in this battle against old man Tup here. I got Mega Lopunny, which we know is a beast, and then he's got the terrifying monster known as Charizard X. So check out Tup. Channel link and stuff will be down below. This team builder will not be pretty, but I will be back to doing the graphics. So yeah, it does take a little bit of time to do that, so I hope you guys understand that just for this one, it's already late. Want to get it out quick for y'all. Let's take a look at our matchup here. So going into this game, obviously Megazard X is absurdly terrifying. If that thing Dragon dances twice, I basically hit the power button and I submit defeat, because there's literally no way I stop Zardax at +2. But the way this team is going to be made and the way that I'm going to try and play around it, I should never get it, or I should never let it get +2 attack and +2 speed. If it gets +2 speed, that's fine. +1 attack is still manageable, I think. So looking at other offensive threats, Roserade, realistically, along with Rotom Wash, are very problematic for me to deal with. If anything, I definitely expect Zard X, Rotom Wash, and Roserade, all 3 of those, I definitely think are going to be coming to this battle. Rotom Wash is just very annoying to switch into because he can pivot in and out with Volt Switch, and then Hydro Pump hits whatever Volt Switch doesn't. My best answer to it is Cradilly, but Cradilly's matchup in this game is way too rough, and spoilers, I am not bringing Cradilly just because it would probably hinder me more than it would actually help me. Even though, yeah, I can stop Rotom, it can still just Volt Switch for free, and I really don't want that to happen. Roserade offensively is a giant issue if I don't have Cryogonal or my Alolan Muck, so I need to be careful with how I play around that. Tyranitar, I think 100% has to come because of Reuniclus. Otherwise, Reuniclus could just go in on his team. And then for the final 2 team members, I'm not too sure what he would want to bring. Like, Klefki makes a lot of sense if he wants to bring like dual screens or hazard stacking, if he doesn't want to put spikes on Roserade. Gliscor also could be really nice as a super fat mon to deal with my Lopunny or Durant. Musharna, I don't think Musharna comes with Tyranitar, just because Tyranitar can get up to sand, and if I pressure Musharna enough, if sand is up, it's not going to be recovering back enough HP, so I don't think he would want to risk bringing that, in all honesty. Alolan Dougie, I'm not sure if it'll come, and then same thing for Hariyama. I don't really know. Like, I guess Guts Hariyama is a little bit scary to deal with, but so much of my team outspeeds it and that I can deal with it, so I think it wouldn't be too big of an issue. Assault Vest, I guess, could make sense for Manaphy as well, but then that means it's not hitting hard, which means it's no longer as big of a threat. Alolan Dougie, its speed tier is really good, and in Sand Force, it can actually be a little bit of a nuisance. So I guess I could see that coming, but if it's not Life Orb or Banded, then it shouldn't be a giant problem. And then Miss Magius, I guess it could come to kind of help deal with our Reuniclus, but because Alolan Muck is on our squad and its matchup is actually pretty solid, I don't expect Musharna or Miss Magius to come, so I'm not really too concerned about those 2. And then I'm still iffy on whether or not Alolan Dougie and Hariyama even come. So yeah, with that being said, let's take a look at our first team member here, and that is going to be good old Mega Lopunny. Mega Lopunny absolutely smacks around the Pittsburgh Piratas here. His best answer to my Lopunny is going to be a purely physically defensive Musharna, which again, if he has Tyranitar, I can pressure Musharna enough, hopefully get it in a scenario where it's forced to come in on sand, and then because it's not able to recover back HP and because Sandstorm is chipping it down, hopefully off the rocks, I will be able to safely 2-hit KO it. I could see it maybe being a Rocky Helmet set, Leftovers, Colberberry makes a lot of sense. I don't think it would be Trick Room. My biggest fear is if it's Moonlight, Calm Mind, Psyshock, and Filler Move. Because Thunder Wave makes a lot of sense too on Musharna, just because he knows he's going to be able to force me out so he can spread paralysis. I don't know the pearl. So that could be annoying. If it's Calm Mind, it could be a little bit of an issue for my main ways of dealing with it if it were to come. But it's really pressured regardless of what set it exactly wants to bring, and that's why I almost don't expect it, but if it were to come, hopefully we can deal with it accordingly. His next best answer is something like Gliscor, which could be running Yache Berry Acrobatics if he expects me to bring Ice Punch, but as you can see, we don't have Ice Punch, mainly for the fact that if he is Yache Berry Acrobatics, then obviously I don't want to give him a double powered Acrobatics after I pop the Yache Berry. In return, if he is Max Spadef Max HP, not Max Spadef, sorry. If he's Max Fizdef Max HP with the Impish Nature, return is a 3 KO, and he doesn't OHKO me or 2 KO me in return, I think. It's rolls on whether or not he can 2 KO me. But the first return does like 35%. Second one, I take the first Acrobatics, and the third return will knock him out. So that's kind of how things would play out if he were to be something like Yache Berry. And then if he's not Yache Berry, he needs to be fearing that I could have the Ice Punch. So hopefully that'll be good in our favor as well. But between Return and Drain Punch, we hit everything neutrally and super effectively. I was really flip-flopping between whether or not I wanted Drain Punch or High Jump Kick. Literally, the main reason I ultimately chose Drain Punch was because High Jump Kick, the extra damage was only really helpful for Klefki, but I figured that the rest of my team can kind of wear down Klefki anyways. Plus, if he's not a Reflect, Light Screen, or Thunder Wave Klefki, then it shouldn't be as scary for me to deal with, and as long as I'm able to chip him down and wear him down and put him in range with Drain Punch, then that's perfectly fine by me, because I don't want to be in the scenario of where I'm basically forced to High Jump Kick, and if I miss, I'm screwed. So Drain Punch kind of gets rid of that, plus it gives us some type of HP recovery. If we're able to smack the Tyranitar, it's going to die, and we're going to gain back a good amount of HP. This could also be really helpful in case he does have any Rocky Helmet Pokemon. And then Fake Out plus Quick Attack is pretty much there because I think I'm forced to bring it because of Charizard X. Otherwise, if I don't have priority with a Scarfer, Zardex can basically just murder me for free, and I really don't want to lose to Dragon Dance Zardex. I've already been 6-0 by a Dragon Dance Charizard X. I'm going to damn well make sure that doesn't happen again. So we are running enough speed for the Alolan Dougie, even though I don't really expect it. I would still rather be safe than sorry, and then that still allows us to run Inanimate Nature just so we can do as much damage as possible. Moving on to our next team member, we have Okada, aka Manaphy, running another bulky Tail Glow set. This time around, we are running Max Speed Timid, because if it comes down to a potential speed tie between me and Charizard, I want to ensure that I at least have the chance of outspeeding it and hitting it before he hits me, or before he sets up, essentially. I mean, if he sets up, it doesn't matter if I lose the speed tie, I guess. But either way, I still want to win a potential speed tie is what I'm trying to say. So we can get off a really good amount of damage with Surf. I think we can do a KO him potentially, depending on his spread. My biggest fear is like max HP, max speed Zardex, but I guess that's not hitting that hard. Still, though, it's really bulky, so it's going to be a bit of a problem to deal with. But besides that, we are able to hit it pretty hard with Surf. At +3, everything basically just kind of dies. And I know it's a little bit weird that I don't have Ice Beam. Originally, I did have Ice Beam over Shadow Ball, but the more I looked at it, the more I was actually really terrified of Musharna. Now, even though at +3, I'm already mollywopping Musharna, if he's Calm Mind Musharna, then at +3, if he's at +1 Spadef, Surf doesn't 2 KO. Shadow Ball does, though. So I was like, I can still do a lot of damage to Roserade with Shadow Ball. Plus, Yache Berry Roserade also makes a lot of sense to me to come to this game, because realistically, I can't fit Psychic on my Manaphy set here, even though, yes, it would hit Hariyama. Surf at +3 already does more than enough damage, and then Grass is weak to Ice, so Ice Beam makes sense, and then it's also 4 times super effective against Gliscor if I want to get like the instant OHKO. So I'm hoping that if he does bring Roserade, or yeah, if he does bring Roserade, hopefully it's not as big of an issue and I can kind of wear it down to put it in range of where, at worst, a regular Shadow Ball knocks him out. But if I get the +3, I'm still doing a really good amount of damage to Roserade. And then Surf plus Energy Ball rounds off our 3 offensive moves. I think I already mentioned Surf, though. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to get this done because I don't want this to be up entirely too late, and just I'm really, really sorry. So yeah, Surf, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball, all going to be our 3 offensive moves. Hits everything pretty hard. respectable damage. The bulk is just there because I really feel like I'm going to be needing Manaphy to pivot in and out, and with parting shot support, that's going to make it a lot easier for us to pivot in and out, and then hopefully he does kind of put us below 25%, and then that way we gain our 50% berry back to boost us up to a good significant amount of HP, to the point where we can probably take another hit for something else later in the battle. So yeah, hoping Manaphy can actually put in a lot of work this game, because this is going to be able to wreck through any type of defense that he does have in the back. So moving on to our next team member here, we have SixftHax, aka Kali. Obviously, this is being brought over Cradilly because, as I mentioned, Cradilly's matchup is really, really rough. Both SixftHax and Cradilly honestly have a rough matchup, but at least SixftHax can do something as where Cradilly would probably be mostly used as setup fodder, and that's actually the whole reason I have Explosion. While yeah, I guess having Roar isn't the worst thing ever, Explosion does allow me to hit the Rotom Wash, and I already have Ice Fang to hit the Gliscor, because you guys are going to see that we have a very interesting mon in the back that once Gliscor and Rotom Wash are gone can actually put in a lot of work. So we are rocking Max Spadef mainly for the fact that it lets us take a hit from Roserade, Miss Magius, and Rotom significantly better, and then in return we can Earthquake, Explosion, or go from there. Stealth Rocks, because if I don't have Rocks up and he has a Zard X in the back, I might as well just not even bother playing, because it's so bulky as it is. Getting off any type of chip damage on that is going to be amazing, and it also does help my Manaphy, my Scarfer, and our double priority Mega Lopunny in the back to deal with the Zard X. So Adamant Nature with a 12 attack EV spread just lets us do as much damage without having to really risk any significant bulk loss. I don't think we really need any physical defense, obviously, because it's already so massive. With the Aqua Berry, this can actually be a pretty good lure for Zard X, and then we can just destroy it with an Earthquake, which would be amazing. If he does have Hidden Power Fire for some reason on the Roserade, then this will help us deal with that. I guess this can also deal with a Fire Blast Tyranitar. It can deal with a Z Inferno Mismagius as well. While we don't OHKO it, we do good damage with Ice Fang, which is more than enough, or we can just get a Brock, so I'm perfectly fine with that. Actually, this should be Sheer Force. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I went Sheer Force in the end. Did I? I don't know. I'll have to check my team before the battle. But yeah, this should be Sheer Force. We have Sheer Force, Max HP, Max Spadef, Adamant. Basic spread. We don't need any speed. We outspeed Musharna, which is the only thing we outspeed anyway. So yeah, we can do damage, take hits, hopefully get a Brox, and then go from there. Moving on to our next team member here, we have Bailey, aka Reuniclus. Man, if Reuniclus could learn another move, this matchup would be so much easier. This matchup would be infinitely better for us. So the biggest issue with this set is clearly that I don't touch Musharna. Now again, very iffy on whether or not he brings Musharna, because he needs to bring Tyranitar. If he doesn't bring Tyranitar, then he doesn't stop Reuniclus. Well, I guess if he has Musharna, then he can stop me. But I don't expect Musharna, because I expect Tyranitar before Musharna, is what I'm trying to say. So while this is hard walled by Musharna, I'm hoping that between the rest of our team we can pressure it enough and we won't have to worry about it. But this EV spread allows us to just do as much damage as possible while still also being able to tank hits very, very well on the physical and special side. The main reason I have so much defense is because this ensures that there is no way that a non-Banded, I don't remember the calc off the top of my head, it's either Banded or Life Orbed. There's no way that Banded or Life Orbed Alolan Dougie outside of Sandforce should ever 2 KO us. In Sand though, I think if he is Life Orb, it's a roll, but if he's Banded, it's a guarantee to a KO, so I would at least rather take the chance with the roll, and that's mainly for the fact that I don't expect him to be Banded because we have Dragonite and Cryogonal, so I don't think he'll be Banded. Worst case, he's Life Orb, which hopefully we can deal with. But because of Acid Armor, with Acid Armor, we are basically able to deal with Tyranitar accordingly. I was really flip-flopping between whether or not I wanted Psychium Z or Phytinium Z, but ultimately, I feel like if I'm able to get up an Acid Armor, or if I get up 2 Acid Armors, if I get 2 Acid Armors up, I'm beating Tyranitar 100% of the time. But the only reason I would ever need Phytinium Z is to guarantee a KO on Tyranitar if I didn't think I could already beat it accordingly after an Acid Armor. Basically, I need to hit 2 Focus Blasts against Tyranitar, which I think I'll be able to do. I'm really not too concerned about it. I'm not that worried about it, but I definitely feel like I will be able to hit 2 Focus Blasts against it. And after that, I have the Psychium Z to click for free and absolutely mollywop something on his team. The Spadef is nice to allow us to pivot into Roserade, Rotom, potentially take a hit from Mismagius depending on the spread and how healthy we are. So yeah, it would have been nice to have like Trick Room or Calm Mind on this set, but because I can't touch Musharna, I would rather just use this to get rid of Tyranitar and potentially help wall a Zard X, as well as being able to maybe 1v1 a Sword Zance Gliscor, and this also helps us with Alolan Dougie and Hariyama. So yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't see this set coming. This is a set I've seen used against me before, and it's really nice to deal with dark types, so hoping that this can catch him off guard. And if we are able to beat Tyranitar, if there's no Musharna, then Reuniclus is going to go to town. So moving on to our next team member, we have Jericho, aka Silvally. Now, this is a very interesting Silvally set. This was actually my idea, but I want to give a little shout out to my boy Kelly Under the Radar, who suggested bringing Grass Pledge on this set. Now, Silvally was kind of pressured on what exactly I wanted it to do in this match, or what I wanted, mainly for the fact that I needed to pivot, I needed to gain me momentum. Its coverage is so good that I can use it to help try to break through his walls like Roserade, Klefki, Rotom. I can even do decent damage to the Tyranitar, and I can Ice Beam Gliscor. So if it's not Musharna, if it's not Mismagius, then this set, I guess Hariyama too. If it's not either of those three mons, this set right here can actually do significant damage to his team, and the more damage I get off on his team, the better chance I'll have to put them in range of either my Scarfer or double priority Mega Lopunny, which would be absolutely amazing. So I can use this as a really good pivot and kind of a breaker, and because it does so much damage already without me really needing to put any investment with the Expert Belt, that lets us run a lot of speed with a lot of bulk as well, making it so much better in this scenario. Now I guess it is a little bit weird to have Silvally normal, because obviously you want to have usually they're different types, and that's the best part of Silvally. But in this scenario, I can run Expert Belt to do extra damage if I were to be a certain Silvally type, because I'm not going to be running multi-attack. I'm just going to kind of be making it worse off, essentially, if you guys get what I'm trying to say. Like, it would actually be bad for me in this scenario to run a different Silvally type, I think, because I need this to pivot into whatever I can try to pivot into, mainly Roserade. Like, Roserade is so annoying, so if I can pivot into that, that would be amazing. And then if I were a different type, I would be weak to something else, and I really don't want to go through all the entire like, I think I spent like an hour just trying to figure out the proper Silvally set and spread. And then Grass Pledge was so huge, because again, if I can get rid of Rotom Wash, I can get rid of Gliscor, our Scarfer can come in and put in so much work. In between Ice Beam and Grass Pledge, we beat both of those. And then Flamethrower is really good for Klefki, because Klefki is so damn annoying in this game. And then Parting Shot is just good for our setup, Manaphy, and helping us take hits a lot easier. So we are running enough speed to outspeed Roserade, I believe, speed creeping Dragonite, because if you look at our speed tiers, there is zero reason that Roserade should be running a timid max speed. The most speed he needs is only for Dragonite, which means I can speed creep that speed creep and outspeed him, hopefully. And Flamethrower does a lot of damage to the Roserade as well, thanks to the X-Bro. I can Parting Shot out against Zard X if it really comes down to it, which I think would be more than fine enough. And yeah, Parting Shot it against the Hariyama as well as Musharna, and just go from there. So hopefully this set puts in work and I can kind of break his fat. So moving on to our Choice Scarfer, our final Pokemon here, making his debut for the Durham Druddigons. We have a Choice Scarf Durant. Now, yes, I know, I don't have hustle. Don't come for my neck. Hear me out here. So literally the only reason I even want Scarf Durant is for Zard X. That's pretty much, even, dude, Rockslide doesn't even do that much damage to Zard X. Like, I think it only does like 40-50% max, maybe, depending on how bulky he is. So obviously I'm gonna need to get a Rocks, hit it really hard, and hope that I revenge kill this. Plus, there's always a chance I can flinch him, which I know it would suck to flinch the Zard X, but hey, it can happen. So yeah, that would be amazing. But that's pretty much the main reason I have Choice Scarf Durant here. And obviously I don't want to run Hustle with Rock Slide. That puts its accuracy down to like 60, I think, which is like which is worse than hitting a Focus Blast. I think it may be more than 60, but it's just really bad. So the idea also behind the set is that, again, if I can get rid of Rotom Wash, I get rid of Gliscor. This comes in, and if for some reason I'm able to be put in the swarm range, I can just kind of click X Scissor for free. Obviously, yeah, Zardex also has to be gone. But again, if I get up rocks and I pressure Zardex, it shouldn't be as terrifying. And again, Scarf Rock Slide gets rid of it. It's gone. Rotom's gone. Gliscor's gone. I come in, X Scissor, Iron Head, respectively, and sweep through his team. So yeah, this is here to do 2 jobs mainly. Stop Zardex and potentially sweep. If it can't sweep, that's fine because we still have Lopunny in the back. We have Reuniclus, which can also just put in a whole lot of work. And yeah, that's really it. So that's going to be our squad for this week, guys. I apologize if this was a little bit rushed. And again, sorry for no fancy graphics, but they will be back for week number 6, which will be going back up, or which will be going on regular schedule again. So thank you all for watching. Hit that thumbs up button down below. Let me know what your favorite mega in a draft league format is in the comment section below, and I will see you all tomorrow with the actual battle itself. So later, everybody.